A game that Tyrann Mathieu nailed down by putting the final nail in an already closed coffin with a pickoff of Geno Smith, and we love having him on the Rich Eisen Show. Thrilled to have on the day after their big Monday Night Football win, Tyrann Mathieu here on the show. What's going on, Tyrann?
Hey, what's up, Rich? Good morning, man.
Good morning to you. Thanks for calling into the show. What is it like watching David Johnson run the ball like that from the defensive side?
I mean, it's special, man. Anytime, we feel like, every play he should get, or every series he should get more touches, and just seeing him blossom, man. We seen it last year, but just to see it this year on a consistent basis, just him being that bell cow that we need, he's truly fun to watch.
So has this team turned a corner, do you think?
Well, we've just been trying to play to our expectations. We've tried to tune out all the noise. Obviously, we didn't start the season how we wanted it to. We had a couple miscues that cost us a couple football games, and just really we were all playing inconsistent at times. So we've just been trying to focus in and dial in, man, and just play our kind of football. Scoring 28 points, 30 points a game, and then on defense, just finding a way to be opportunistic and create turnovers. And we've been gelling pretty well the last couple of weeks.
So what was it about this team to start 1-3? What happened that left a lot of people scratching their heads, Tyrann?
Well, every year you're not going to have the same football team. You're going to have new guys. You're going to have rookies that come in, and they're going to have to play a big role. You got new guys, free agents that come to teams. They have to play a big role. And so it's all about just really developing their chemistry again. We're not the same football team from last year. We shouldn't be identified as the same football team from last year. We have to create our own identity this year. And I think we really just needed some adversity, Rich. We didn't finish last season how we wanted it to. I think we still had that taste in our mouth as we started football season this year. But like I said, the last couple of weeks, we've really been dialed in and really just try to find ways to score points and create turnovers.
What was the game plan against Ryan Fitzpatrick? Trust me, Jets fans would love to know. What was your game plan? What were you talking about going into the game last night?
Obviously, we decided to put Patrick on Brandon Marshall. That's what he does week in and week out. And we just really tried to contain everybody else. We really focused on Matt Forte and tried to stop the run early on. And Fitzpatrick, he's a really smart quarterback pre-snap, so we try to disguise a lot of looks and really kind of try to force him into some errant throws, which he gave us a few. But for the most part, we wanted to keep him contained because he's a great scrambler, or I should say he's an underrated scrambler, and he can make plays on the run. So, it was a combination of things, Rich.
Tyrann Mathieu joining me here on Rich Eisen Show, playing as well as you've been playing the last couple of games. It's perfect timing with the Seahawks coming into the house for a nationally televised Sunday night football game. What do you think this game means to you and this team?
Well, we know what it's going to be. It's going to be a defensive matchup, two offenses that can score at will, two great quarterbacks, teams that like to run the football, like to throw the football. And then on defense, obviously, on our end, we try to create turnovers, be opportunistic. And then Seattle defense, that goes without being said. They're pretty stern in what they do. They're very disciplined. And so it's going to be a chess match. I think it's really going to come down to who really wants it more.
Tyrann Mathieu joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. And when we lost contact with you, you were answering a question that I thought was, a lot of fans are wondering about the game within the game, about pride being on the line at a position where pride is certainly a premium. The secondary of Seattle, you're not going against them directly, but you'll be on the same field as them on next Sunday night. Is there something that you guys talk about, Patrick Peterson, the rest of your group, knowing that the Legion of Boom is coming in with their nickname and their pedigree?
Yeah, no question. We just try to harp on being the best defense on the football field that day. We know Seattle and everything that those guys have accomplished over the last couple of years. They're really talented. They're very disciplined and very smart players back there, and we just try to match those guys' intensity, their wisdom, and we just try to go out there and play our kind of game.
Did you throw some shade at Richard Sherman on Twitter through Chris Carter's tweet about blowing the coverage against the Falcons and Julio Jones, Tyrann? Did we catch that? on Twitter?
No. Well, it wasn't shade. I actually blew a coverage 3 weeks ago against the Rams. Gave up a 30-yard pass. So, obviously it happens to all of us. So,
okay.
But I was really surprised to see that Richard Sherman blew a coverage.
Oh, so you were backing Richard Sherman's play as a fellow secondary member when Chris Carter pointed out that he blew a coverage against Julio Jones.
Oh, yeah, no question.
Okay.
No question.
So when it all comes down to it, you've got to band together against receivers who are on Twitter talking about beating secondary members.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Our job is tough as it is, man. We don't know where those guys going. All we have to do is react, and anticipate. So I'm always on the DB side.
So in that regard, our poll question today is simple. You want to read it to Tyrann, Mathieu, Christopher Brockman, please? Read it to
Tyrann, what do you think about pass interference? Should it be reviewable? Yes or no?
What do you got?
I mean, in my opinion, I wouldn't mind, but I do think that a football game really shouldn't come down to a missed pass interference call or anything like that. So, I would say that all calls should really be reviewable.
You like every play, holding? You want it all under the booth?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that at all. Roughing the passer, all those kind of things.
So it's interesting. So as a defender, you wouldn't mind maybe getting away with pulling on somebody's arm, but after the play's over, they go under the hood and they throw a flag on you for about 40 yards. You wouldn't mind that?
Well, I guess you got to take the good with the bad, Rich. Because if somebody was to hold Larry Fitzgerald and we didn't get the call, I'd be pretty mad about that.
So both ways. There you go. There's Tyrann Mathieu with that subject here on the Rich Eisen Show. What was up with Patrick Peterson? Are you in that bet with the quarterbacks too, where sometimes you might have to come out in an inflatable dinosaur uniform and work out?
No, I don't get involved in all that, Rich. I just leave that to Pat and the rest of the QBs, man. I stay in my lane. I'm on the other end of the field with the DBs.
Okay. So what was Patrick doing with the quarterbacks in a wager like that? What's he doing?
Well, every week they have a bucket challenge where they throw the ball from about 20, 30 yards out, and they all get about, I think, 5 chances to make it into a trash can. Sometimes Patrick's win, but most time he loses. Most time Carson wins. So.
So would you say that their golf games are comparable like that too, Tyrann?
Well, Pat could probably go on tour after his football career is over with. So he takes a lot of pride in golfing. So I'll bet my money on Patrick.
Before I let you out the door, Tyrann, we've asked you about Les Miles many times. We haven't spoken since his firing at LSU. What did you think about that?
I mean, I was heartbroken. Obviously, me and Coach Miles, we have a pretty good relationship, and we've stayed in contact through the years, just talking, just keeping up with each other, and it sucks to see it happen to him, man. A guy that won so many games, that was so dependable in a sense. A guy that had such great relationships with all of his players. It's good to see him get shown the door like that. But at the end of the day, it's a business, man. And these universities, they want to win championships. And if you continue to fall short, you have to pay the price. But at the end of the day, I think it was heartbreaking for all of his former players and current players.
Tyrann, thanks for the time. Appreciate you calling in day after a big game against the Jets, and look forward to the Sunday night game against the Seahawks.
Thanks, Rich. I appreciate it, man.
Always. Tyrann Mathieu, at Mathieu_era on Twitter.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.